So I thought I'd give you a tour of my own Weebly page so that you can see what, you might want to not include or not include. So I am, so this particular Weebly was created over a period of 3 years. So at this point in my life, it's pretty, it's a lot more sophisticated than when I first started out. When I first started out, I maybe had 3 pages. Each of these sections is considered a page on your webpage. And the reason that it's grown over time is that I've been teaching the same thing for the last 3 years. And I actually teach the same students. Because I'm a specialist, a technology teacher, the students rotate through my class. So year to year, I'm just teaching the same kids as they get older and more sophisticated. So as a result, my class has to sort of grow and change with them. So as I set it up, I created this home page, which is just sort of a landing page, giving a basic outline of what students can do, obviously. This did not used to be the first tab here, games, but it's become really crucial and important to my students. So I just created a tab that has all of the games that we play on a regular basis. Duolingo, which is great for learning a second language, Prodigy for math, Read Across America. This is a writing activity. And then I have a lot of internet safety games because I teach that in the beginning of the school year, and then my computer coding games. And apparently some sort of airplane is flying overhead. But anyway, so that's one of the pages that I have. And then I have a link here of videos that I tend to change over time, and it's for like early finishers or students who this is a Quest Dojo video. It's adorable. This is one about Playworks, which is about recess time. It's a really great organization if you're involved in how your recesses go at your school. And then because I'm old school, I have a lot of Schoolhouse Rock, because that is why I know my 3 times tables, and I think the next generation could benefit from that as well. So these are just videos that students can watch if they finish their work. And what I like is I have total control over what they see. It's not just sending them to the internet to watch. You can send a kid to YouTube and say, watch this video, and then they can wander all around. So students know that they can only watch the videos that I have uploaded. If you have a free Weebly account, it's really easy to link into videos that are on YouTube. If you want to create your own HD videos and use them, you actually have to pay a fee. So that's something to keep in mind. So this page, Important Links, is one that I just recently created as we got Google Classroom. I found it was the fastest way to get all of my students to Google Classroom to get them set up. And then I just added links to things that we use all the time, Nearpod, quizzes, Haiku Deck, which is another, like to do a slide deck. It's free. It's really cute. They have really beautiful pictures, and my 4th and 5th graders, I think, and I don't think I've shown it to my 6th graders yet. They just really like all the different things they have on it. So this page just includes links, and it's kind of plain because I did it very, very quickly. I think I literally created it as my first group was walking in the door, which just shows you how quickly you can manage things in Weebly. And then this one has to do with makers. Oh no, actually this is my writing one. So I was going to mix it up. So these are just some story writing apps, and I really put it together for my younger students. My 3rd graders love any opportunity to write stories, especially if there's already a picture there. So these are just all links that I found over time to free. I'm always looking for free apps for students that aren't full of ads and that they're actually educational. So that's that one. And then my main section, and the reason I built my Weebly in the first place, was this is my actual curriculum that I teach right here under projects. So I had to create my own curriculum. So what I did was I sort of mapped out the year initially with about 7 different projects, and then I created a sub-page for each of those projects. So if you click on any of them, it will show you the activities that you have to complete for that project. So every year, even though I have the same students, we start out with internet safety, and so I have some videos that they can watch that talk about internet safety, some basic facts about internet safety. What's missing right now is a link to this project, which is that my students have to learn their internet driver's license, and they do that by completing several tasks that are in a slide deck. However, it's a slide deck I bought through Teachers Pay Teachers, and so it's copyrighted. So I put it up, I put the link to that up when we are doing that lesson, and then I remove it when we're not, so that other people can't just go on my website and take the Teachers Pay Teachers information without paying for it. So that's something to keep in mind when you're creating something, is to make sure that if it's copyrighted, that you protect and respect that copyright. So, but again, I'll show you later, but it's really easy to add a button which would link to the, something that you purchased. And I would literally do it like if just my second and third graders are using it, so I see them early in the morning, I would have the button there for them, and then as my third graders left and my fifth graders are coming in, I delete it. So super easy to do. So each of these shows the students a particular project that they're working on. I try to start with a question and then provide resources and links to things that will help support them in the project. So for example, this is one where we used Bloxels, which is a really cool product that I discovered at ISTE last year. And you can create a video game. So this is a video screen capture of the video game I created, which has little Mojo from Class Dojo. I created a game centered around him. And so it's a sample of what they can produce if they're using this product, which is what they're going to do. And then I added on some extension activities because I had some students that just really loved making a video game and they wanted to learn more about coding and how it works. And so these are all links to learning more about coding. And these tend to be easier ones for my younger students, and then I created another section for my older students. So here I just have all the projects. When I introduce a project, they all open up their computers and we look at it together, and they have time to look at the links. And then I have this section, which I called Inspiration, and it was just promoting growth mindset, power of yet. There's some powerful TED Talks. I'll put up links from talks of people that we've talked about in class, like we talked about Malala. And so I have some video clips of her that are all really appropriate. This is really cool, the Kindness Boomerang video, if you've never seen it, which we also are trying to start a Kindness Boomerang here at our school. So just sort of supportive, not necessarily connected to a project. And then I have some basic typing skills, which obviously all students need if they're really going to be proficient on the computer. So I personally really like Typing Web. I'm not a fan of a lot of the websites that are centered around games because it doesn't push the students to have correct hand position when they're doing things. And in the beginning of the school year, we would spend, I think, the first 10-15 minutes of doing Typing Web with correct hand position so that they could learn to type properly. And then students can continue to do that. So I created a place for that. Then I had to create this, if you're finished early, some extension activities that you could do. Again, some videos, and then just some games where they can practice their skills. And then I also have a couple of other pages that are somewhat hidden. I coach Leadership Academy, so this is my After School Clubs tab, where I can post pictures and activities that we do. And then I also have a reading section right now, and so this is for my reading class. And you can see that it's password protected, because sometimes I will post pictures of my students and or their work that they've done. So it's password protected, so only they or their parents can see it, not just anybody who comes to our school. So I think that can be really important too. Let me go back. And then, of course, I also have the International Society for Technology and Education technology standards that I have listed right here, so that we can see that we're aligned with those. And then this chart here shows how each of the projects that we do in class connect to those standards, which is pretty much all my projects connect to all of the standards because that's the way it works with technology. So that's just kind of an overall general tour. Honestly, my students use the games, the videos, and the projects links the most, other than my reading students who use this one as well. So yeah, and then something I recently started doing, which I'm doing right now, I learned how to use Screencast-O-Matic. So I think it was under Makers. Nope. Let's see. It was one of my most recent projects. Maybe Disruptors? No. I'll find it. Man, robotics. No. It's going to be the last thing I look at. That one. Conventions? No. I'm sure you're enjoying this part of the video. I know it wasn't LearnStorm. Oh, I bet it was actually under Get Creative. Yeah, right here. So this is a screen recording of me using this app, Gone Google Story Builder. And it's something I'm going to start doing in the future, which is I can have a recording of how to use something on my website. So if a student was absent or they just need a refresher, they can just watch the video and they can see exactly what we did in class. Because I don't know about you, but sometimes I learn something somewhere and then I go to do it myself and I was like, oh, what was that thing? And obviously visual is a great way for students to learn. Plus it has my annoying voice, just like now, that they can listen to and remember how to do it. And my students love it. They think it's hilarious. So the day that I introduced this app, they were in class with me. I explained how to use it, showed them on my big board, and then I let them get to work. And probably about half the class immediately clicked on this video and listened to me teach them how to use it again. So obviously it's something that they like. But it was great for students who were absent or students who were in a different classroom, because sometimes my students get pulled out for tutoring or whatnot, so they can learn how to do it too, and so then they don't fall behind. So that's kind of pretty much my whole website. And like I said, it's pretty extensive, and I'll continue to work on it. I'll make a bunch of changes this summer, probably adding more screen recordings of how to use stuff. So this is one example of a teacher's Weebly.